Chapter 19 of Joaquin, the Claude Duval of California. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Rita Boutros. Joaquin, the Claude Duval of California, or the Marauder of the Mines, a romance founded on truth, by Henry L. Williams. Return of the Ravagers. An orgy. Cevallo nearly hanged. Towards the evening of this day, so gloriously marked by the killing of the 2 bears, Valenzuela and the 3 men who held the outposts came into camp. Behind them marched about 50 of their companions who had been separately marauding in different parts of the state. The commander of each detachment gave over to the chief an account and the product of each expedition. The amount of the whole plunder went as high as 1,000 ounces of gold. While the newcomers related to their friends what they had done, the first who had arrived made everything ready for a grand feast, which was to end in a general fandango. The great fire was kindled in the center of the encampment for the roasting of the grizzlies slain so opportunely. This was to be the chief dish. Plenty of provisions brought by the robbers was to supply the other demands. Ere long the cooks announced supper to be ready. A truce was declared to conversation, and all took their places. The feast was not let cool, for everybody had had their appetite whetted by the various emotions of the day. After that, cigarettes and favorite drinks of the Mexicans went the round, and attention was given to the stories of such of the crew as could rattle off a relation of adventures, highway or amorous. When almost all subjects had been exhausted which could interest the assemblage, Joaquin turned towards Antonio, who had been rather silent since the commencement, and he begged him to say something. "Heaven knows, my friends," said Antonio, flinging away the end of a cigar, "that it is utterly impossible for me to recount my experiences, for the last quarter of an hour even, seeing that my head is full as an egg of visions of grizzly bear. I was almost asleep, and actually dreamed of one of the monsters being about to let me have a left-hander with those sweet teeth he carries out of fun at the end of his feet. Thank you, Captain, for awaking me. However, if such a thing as a song, poorly sung, can replace the story I am called upon to give, I will be happy to be agreeable to you. Besides, it's driving the bear from my mind." "Yes, yes, a song!" exclaimed several voices. "Well, what do you speak for?" inquired Antonio. "The castle of Saint Anna, or the serenade of Mount Sierra, or—" "Give us 'Our Land of Lands is Mexico,'" said Valenzuela. "Willingly, but you must take care and join in the chorus lustily. It's a jolly good bit, which Padre Murrieta preferred to anything else, and he had a good ear for hymns. But it is not much unless the chorus is sung heartily. Enough, friend, fire away!" After the usual coughs to clear his throat, Antonio plunged feelingly into the following ballad to the air of "The Pretty Maid of Monterey." Our land of lands is Mexico. Gay and free hunters of men and of gold, our arms are right strong, our hearts true and bold. O'er prairies, through woods, up mountain, down vale, our horses, our ships, oh, swiftly we sail. Chorus. They shudder in placers, a cloud shades the land, the miners pale to see us, the Mexican band. Our bullets drive deep in Englishmen's hearts, the French of our knives feel the blade's sharp parts. The Yankee swings high by lasso from branch, the light in his eyes, the flames of his ranch, they shudder, etc. Pleasure or peril, to either we run, we fight or we sport, by star or by sun. When the Angelus' bells on the cool night sing, we gather the spoils and dance in the ring. They shudder in placers, for blood stains the sand, while rejoices with spoil the Mexican band. Yes, yes, cried Antonio, we are the Mexican band, and we will be still more worthy of the name when our captain is enabled to begin his plan. Long life to Mexico, the land of the cactus forever! It's the only place in all creation, my lads, except Spain and Italy, where one can pass at ease through a really pleasant existence. "Why, have you ever seen those countries?" inquired Valenzuela. "Both, certainly," was Antonio's reply. "I was born in Madrid, to begin with. And as for Italy, I may boast that I wasn't the worst brigand in the party that followed the goatskin jacket of the celebrated Carlatti." "Hallo, did you know Giovanni Carlatti?" exclaimed Guerra. "A little. Signor Giovanni Carlatti, the grandson of the one who was second of the world-known Captain Alessandro Maceroni. But, comrades, I will relate my history some other day. I am out of breath for the present." "Here, Antonio," said Joaquin, pouring out from a bottle near him some splendid wine, which California, with its universal climate, promises to equal some day. "Take a sip of this to refresh your mellifluous throat. Fill up, every man of you, and let us drink to the memory of brave Mazzaroni, the valiant captain who said, 'Short and wise is our motto. Let money be the first of all things. Cowardice alone is a crime. For the rest, let every mother's son of you do what you please. Time's like a bird which is off on the wing, and cannot be retained or pulled back. It is easy for one to console himself, if haste is made to enjoy what he has." Loud acclamation greeted the chief's speech. The glasses chinked merrily, and the toast to one of the prides of the Italian highway was uproariously quaffed by these rangers of El Dorado. "Hush!" said Joaquin suddenly. "I thought I heard a signal." "Yes, yes," returned Valenzuela. "There are some of our comrades returned, and, if I am not mistaken, it was Cevalio's call, wasn't it, Margarita? Before 10 minutes passes over our heads, you will have your lover by your side." "I can't tell," answered the Mexican girl. "You appear to know the signal better than I." The chief pulled out of his breast a silver whistle which he put to his lips. A piercing sound vibrated around. Some few minutes afterwards the feasters saw Cevalio appear, followed by 2 more men, who led their horses by the bridle. The 3 were so broken by fatigue that anybody would have taken them from their dragging gait to have been patients fresh discharged from a hospital. Joaquin went to meet them with Antonio and Valenzuela, while the whole band rose to bid them welcome, and to make room for them by the fire. "What news, Cevalio?" inquired the bandit leader, when the lieutenant and his men were seated. "Stay, captain, stay. And, comrades, pass us some wine, quick, for we are half dead." 5 or 6 bottles were instantly handed to the newcomers, and truth obliges us to state that they took more than was good for them. "Now, captain," said Cevalio, encircling with one arm the waist of his mistress, who had come to sit beside him, "now I am ready to answer you, but I must open fire by announcing that my tidings are bad. I think even that it would be as well to put them off till tomorrow, if you don't want to becloud the merrymaking." "No, no," replied the commander, "we must know this evening. Uncertainty is never agreeable. Tell us all that has happened to you. I see that you bring back only 2 out of the whole company of 9 that you started off with. Are the rest dead?" "Alas, yes, dead and buried, I hope." "How?" "2 fell in fair fight. The others—" "Go on. The other 5—" "Were hanged, strung up like jerked beef, dangling on trees. Cursed trees!" Another bottle, comrades. Let me drink down the remembrance of the scene. I think I feel the rope round my neck yet. What? Around your neck? Queried Joaquin. Around my neck, and the slip noose was drawn damnably tight as they dragged me along to the tree, when I got my hands loose, I can't tell how, and streaked for the bush where these two friends were hid, and away we went with 100 bullets flying around us. Caramba! The Yankees are more savage than Apaches. They're hell when quiet, but when irritated, stand from under. More wine, boys! Holy Cross, these Yankees don't do things by half generally, and I'm glad I am the exception. They won't even be satisfied with what would be enough for others. When hanging is the work, they want to run a man up higher than any other people in the world would think of doing. I suppose I am left to avenge my poor strangled friends. It is to be hoped, was the general opinion. Where did the bad luck befall you? Asked Guerra. At the branch of the Rio de las Plumas, Feather River, just 15 miles from Spanish Peak. There was a company of miners there, from 80 to 100, whom I'll go bail for being the roughest savages in the state. You ought to see how they were armed, real walking batteries. Carajo! Every one of them had 3 or 4 pistols or revolvers, a rifle, and a knife as big as a machete. Well, interposed Antonio, now that you have told us how the affair finished, we won't be sorry to learn how it commenced. I'm willing. Here it is, said Savallo. End of chapter 19.